Okay, good evening. This is a meeting of Committee of Adjustment for the Town of LaSalle for Wednesday, April the 20th, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'm going to take roll call of the members. Please confirm that you're present when I call your name. Jim Boscariel.
Present.
Valentina Bernoni.
Present.
Vince Marcotte.
Present.
Alan Burgess, Supervisor of Planning and Development and Deputy Treasurer.
Present.
Deputy Secretary, Treasurer of the Committee of Adjustment. That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Thank you.
And I'm your chairperson. My name is John Lee. All applications are subject to a 20-day appeal period. Any person desiring to appeal a decision of this Committee of Adjustment may, upon request in writing to the Deputy Secretary Treasurer, receive a copy of the decision to be used for an appeal. The fee for filing an appeal can be obtained from the Deputy Secretary Treasurer. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest tonight? Seeing none, so noted. Could I have an adoption of the minutes for the March 16th, 2022 meeting? Is there a motion? Jim?
Yes.
Seconder, Val?
Yep.
Seconded,
And that
and
carries.
Valentina, or sorry, James moved, Valentina seconded.
Thank you. And that carries. Any requests for withdrawals or
No, there
deferrals
hasn't.
tonight? No, okay. So the first application for consideration is B0621, file 41111, Brado Development Corporation, owner Brian Chillman, solicitor under section 53, bracket 23 of the Planning Act. The applicant has requested to change the conditions of the consent. Mr. Burgess, can you make the presentation, please, on the application?
Thank you. I'm just going to ask if I can share my screen.
Hi there, Alan. The permissions have been changed. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the property that we have before us this evening is located at the corner of Sprucewood Avenue and Malden Road. The applicant is asking for a change in the conditions. As a result of a request for the property to complete its transfer and ownership, the owner has asked for some changes. So in the conditions that are before you, basically we are looking at changing the conditions where for the consent application that the site-specific zoning be removed, as well as the condition 4 of the former conditions was that entering into an amended severance and site plan control agreement. Before you tonight, we're making a recommendation that there be the 12R plan be prepared, it be reviewed and deposited by the OLS, and that the applicant enter into a severance agreement with the municipality, and that agreement would contain such things as issues of drainage, fees, dedications, easements, and etc. So, and all those conditions would still remain to be honored or be completed on or before July the 21st, 2022. I'm available for any questions by the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. Mr. Chillman, you may now speak to the matter. Please introduce yourself and provide a brief explanation of the application, and please confirm that you've read and understood the staff report.
Good evening, Mr. Lee. Mr. Chillman is actually trying to get in right now, and he's not been given access. He's trying to get in as we speak right now.
Okay, we can wait.
So I apologize.
No worries.
I think he's trying to contact Angela right now.
Hi there, Christian. This is Angela. I did send Mr. Chillman the invite, but I do not see him in the waiting room right now.
Brian. Angela, I guess he's clicking on it. It says that it's for authorized attendees only.
Oh, he's got to give, he needs that passcode. You know where you pick
Sure. Okay.
on the calendar? Yeah. The meeting ID plus the passcode. Yeah.
He's going to try to call in by phone. I apologize.
That's no problem. We can hold on for a second. The Zoom link that went out does contain the password that he would need to use to log in.
I see Mr. Fruzio is here as well.
Actually, yes, and Angela, I had to put in my own Zoom password to get in. I don't know if that's the confusing part of it, because I tried punching in the passcode that was given, but it wouldn't allow me in. But for some reason, when I put in my own Zoom password, that's how I got into the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Fruzio, so
Okay,
you're
yeah, we'll
correct.
get
You
there.
do
There he
have to
is.
log
There he
into
is.
Zoom.
There he is.
I don't have video now. I can't hear
No,
anything.
we're good now. He's
No, I
on
can't
now.
hear anything. Hello?
Hi.
Can hear you.
No, but he's having
Can't
trouble.
hear anything.
He's having trouble getting the audio from the meeting to his own computer. Sorry, the desktop in my office. Go to the bottom right speaker, bro.
Mhm. Where?
Just click on that like the time over there, and something
Yeah.
will pop up with the volume.
Does this have a speaker?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, he says,
We can hear you. It's
Yeah,
on.
yeah, we can see you and we can hear you.
Yeah.
right there.
Can you hear us, Brian?
Hello?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, sorry about
Thank you
that.
so much.
All right.
Yeah, I
All
wasn't-
set.
This is technology. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My own client was yelling at me, but I couldn't figure it out. I had my IT person trying to get me on, so I apologize.
Oh, you're here. It's all good.
Yeah.
So,
So
Mr. Chillman,
yes.
you're all
Can I-
set?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. So I'm representing Brado Development, and I'm here really on a housekeeping matter. And you may recall this application having come before you in the past. And we've run into a little bit of a technical issue in that the decision required, there were two conditions that are problematic. And one of the conditions is that the applicant, my client, obtain a site-specific rezoning. And that was initially the intent. But what ended up happening, and our client cooperated with the town on this, was that the town chose to go by way of a comprehensive zoning bylaw, which included the residential zoning that would allow my client to make the development. And they, in part, and they went and passed that. And that comprehensive zoning bylaw has been appealed by Oakdale Trails. So it's not a site-specific zoning that's been presented. We decided that we would allow the town, or we would cooperate with the town's decision to go with this comprehensive zoning bylaw. So we'll never be able to comply with that condition. And we're asking that that condition be removed. So that's item number one. So we're asking, simply put, the condition cannot be legally fulfilled given the decision of town council on August 24th to adopt a new comprehensive zoning bylaw, which is 8600, to create the TC1 zone regulations to which we would have to comply with. The decision of the town council supersedes the decision, in our opinion, of the Committee of Adjustments requiring our client to obtain a site-specific rezoning. So there's no need for a site-specific zoning with the comprehensive zoning bylaw that the town's approved. So that's the one request. The other request that we're asking for at this time is that the condition number 2 of the decision, we would like to amend to remove the requirement for our client to enter into a site plan control agreement. And the reason we're asking for that to be removed is that will allow us to proceed with the severance, which the committee's granted. The site plan really has to wait until such time as the appeal is dealt with, or however it's dealt with. If the OLT sends the zoning back with some changes, we have to comply with whatever results from that appeal. Or we have to comply with the current zoning. So we're asking that that site plan requirement be removed at this time. That will allow us to proceed with the severance and create the parcels so that we can complete our agreement of purchase and sale. It's no different to the town, because the town, number one, they have their comprehensive bylaw, which we're waiting to determine what's going to happen. And number two, the site plan will happen once that zoning bylaw is determined. So we're not planning to do any development, and we can't do any development on that land until the zoning is determined. And it's really out of our hands. It's not site specific anymore. So we're asking those items to be amended as we've asked in our letter. The reason we call it I'm calling it housekeeping, is because this committee, or the committee, already approved the severance portion of it. These other items, as I say, are out of our hands, and we're just asking that they be removed so we can proceed with the severance. There's no planning, there's no requirements of the zoning that we can't comply with. Either currently, like there's no minor variance required. So I'm leaving it at that unless there's questions. I do have my planner on the line, but for the record, I'll say that we've had some meetings with Gudrun and with Dominic, who I think is on this line. I'm not sure if he is, Dominic Tadal. Maybe not, but in any event, oh, there he is. We would like to proceed because my client needs to complete this agreement of purchase and sale and not be held up by what we believe to be sort of a meritless appeal.
Thank you, Mr. Chillman. Committee members, any questions of Mr. Chillman? Vince?
Two questions, basically, or I guess one more administration. First of all, the severance is not being appealed or anything at all. There's no issue there.
The severance, yeah, the severance is not at all being appealed.
Okay, thank you. The second one is condition number 3 on the recommendation that I assume you've seen, is that the conditions be fulfilled by July 21st, 2022. I know you mentioned you're in a hurry to get this done. Are you going to be able to do all you need to do to meet that deadline?
So we've already done it, to be honest. If you remove the site plan control agreement, which will go through site plan process when we develop the land, all that has to happen is a severance agreement has to be signed. And we've actually signed it. I know a new copy was circulated today by Dominic, but we signed a previous severance agreement that had some items missing in it, and it's been recirculated for signature. Correct, Dominic?
Well, I guess my question was simply, is that deadline good for you guys? It's not very long, that's all. I don't want you coming back in 6
Yeah.
months later saying we didn't get it signed.
My understanding on that deadline, though, is that it's extended because of the appeal, correct, Dominic? I can't hear you, Dominic.
I guess maybe I can help out here. The fulfillment date of the committee, which is the recommended condition, is for the consent.
Right.
It's not, it has nothing to do with the appeal or anything like that. So I guess where Mr. Marcotte is coming from, and I understand, he just wants to make sure that you don't have to come back to the committee of adjustment again for another change, because here we go, we're now in July and we haven't finalized things. I believe based on all the work that's been done to date, I think the date of July 21st is still solid.
Mhm.
But as I mentioned to Mr. Marcotte, by all means, he should ask the question of yourselves. And if you felt that there was the need to potentially extend that date out further, then it's definitely something that could be taken as an amendment, or and it can be changed through the chair.
I don't personally think it needs to be changed. I reached out to Mr. Dadalt earlier today. I think the only outstanding item is the revisions to the severance agreement, which has been circulated. And so I think we'll be in a fine shape to meet that.
Okay. We'll have that to the town tomorrow, Brian. So, and the plan is registered, so
Tell them that I've got
it's all resolved.
here in 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Having heard any comments or concerns made by administration, agencies, and the public, is the committee ready to make a decision? Do we have a
So move the
motion?
recommendations.
Vince, do we have a seconder?
Second it.
Val,
Yes.
all in favor? That carries. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. I apologize for the delay.
Thank you.
That's fine, no worries.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night. Next application is B0422, file 4135. Kenneth Allen, Lucas Allen, Jocelyn Dibb, the owners of 1212 and 1222 Ream Road. The application for consent to recreate one new lot at 1212 Ream Road. Mr. Burgess is going to make a presentation on the severance application.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant, thank you, Mr. Chair. The application before you tonight is for the recreation of 2 lots on the corner of Ream and Piazza Place. These lots were previously created, but not by consent. And as a result, these properties were put into the same ownership, and they have since merged. So what we have is we have 2 lots. Both will be of 21 meters of frontage. They're both approximately 54 meters in depth. One has an existing home on it at 1222 Ream Road. The other lot at 1212 Ream Road is vacant.
Okay, thank you.
The lands are already zoned R1. This is a copy of how the severance would break as far as the severed and retained lands. And as I've said, the lots had merged. And basically, in this case, we are basically looking for just the 12R plan, and that condition is fulfilled by 2024. I'm available for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Al. Okay, Mr. Allen, you may speak to the matter. Please introduce
Mr. Lee?
yourself. Sorry, go ahead, Vince.
Just want to be clear, on the screen that came up, there were 2 conditions.
Oh,
On the information we have, there are 4 conditions.
So-
I just want to be sure that one is the daylight corner and the grading plan.
sorry, Ben. I do apologize to the committee. At the time when the presentation was actually prepared, I had actually added in these other conditions. So there will actually be the 4 conditions. You're correct, Vince. We are asking for the grading plan for that vacant lot, and we are also asking for the daylight corner. So the conditions have changed since the preparation of the plan, and those are the conditions that are part of the report that were circulated are the proper conditions.
The
Okay.
question will be to Mr. Allen at some point, is agree with all 4 of them.
Okay. Mr. Allen,
Thank
you may
you.
speak to the matter.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself and provide a brief explanation of your application. And please confirm that you've read and understood the staff report.
Hi, my name is Ken Allen. Just moved into LaSalle to purchase the property on March 3rd of 2022. I've submitted for the reseverance or the resubmission of the severance of the property just to help with the intensification of the area with some of the streetscape. It's a larger lot here, so I figured it would be nice to add another structure to the area. Considering all of the current building going on across the city and the county, I thought it would be a good opportunity, as I said, to increase the intensification.
Okay. You're aware of the 4 conditions rather than the 2?
Actually, could you familiarize me with the other 2 that were not on there?
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
I'm sorry. So the conditions are actually part of the report.
That's
So when
right.
you're looking, so if you look at the report, the recommendations are for 4 conditions. So the 4 conditions were that the 12-hour plan be prepared, that it be reviewed, and that be prepared and submitted to the Committee of Adjustment or the Secretary for review, and then later deposit. We've asked for a lot grading plan. A lot grading plan is required for any new home to be constructed in LaSalle, as well as we're asking for the 3 meter by 3 meter daylight corner easement, and that would be that's to protect for views, so that to try to reduce accidents due to visibility issues.
That's correct.
So they are the same conditions that, again, unfortunately, when the presentation was originally prepared, it didn't have those conditions contained in it. So again, I do apologize.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions for Mr. Allen? None, seeing none. Committee members, any other questions for administration? Having heard any comments, concerns made by administration agencies, the public, and the public, is the committee ready to make a decision?
Move acceptance.
Okay, Jim, seconder? Val or Vince? All right, all in favor? That carries. Thank you, Mr. Allen.
No problem, sir. Thank you very much for your time, everybody.
Okay, next application, B0522, file 4136. Windsor Painting Contractors Limited, owners, and Paul Crema and Anthony DePonte, agents for 320 Huron Street. Application for consent to create 1 new lot fronting on Huron Street. And Mr. Burgess already has the screen up to make the presentation.
Thank you again. The proposal at this location is for the severance of this lot into 2 building lots. The said property is zoned R1. The 2 proposed lots will have 18 meters of frontage by the appropriate depths. They'll be utilizing the existing services, and it's in keeping with our official plan. And the required frontages meets and exceeds our zoning bylaw requirements. The proposal includes the demolition of the existing dwelling. So as part of the conditions which we're recommending to the committee. We are making the recommendation that basically there be the 12R plan be prepared by an Ontario land surveyor, that the existing house be demolished and that proof be provided to the secretary treasurer of that we enter into a severance agreement pertaining to this lot. Primarily, the severance agreement in this case is to ensure that we get the appropriate services to the new proposed lot, and that we also get any easements or any kind of and deal with any kind of issues of drainage, and all those conditions would have to be fulfilled by April the 20th, 2024. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, you may speak to the matter. Please introduce yourself and provide a brief explanation of your application, and please confirm that you've read and understood the staff report.
Yes, read and understood the staff report. My name is Paul Crema, by the way. So yeah, we're just looking to tear the existing house down and reconstruct 2 new homes on the property.
Okay, thank you. And committee members, any questions for Mr. Allen?
I have a question, John.
Yep.
Okay, under the recommendation, item number 3, is lot grading, even though it doesn't specifically say lot grading, but it's understood that they would have to have lot grading done on that vacant portion?
Yeah, through your.
Actually, they're both going to be vacant, but. Yeah.
That's correct. Through the chair, yes, lot grading is a key element which is included as part of the required conditions within the legal agreement. So what will actually happen is once the home is demolished, proof is provided, the owner will actually create the lot grading plans and servicing plans. Those plans will then be submitted to the municipality. Those will be reviewed by the municipal engineers, and we will actually develop our agreement based on those lot grading plans. So definitely those are an essential part of the development process when it comes to severance and
Thank you.
really any building process.
Okay.
My apologies. I said Mr. Allen. It's Mr. Crema. Any other questions for Mr. Crema? None? Okay, committee members, do you have any other questions of administration?
So moved.
Wow.
Oh,
I have,
go ahead,
it
Jim.
look- yeah, on the appears to be the southwest corner of the property, there seems to be could be a closed alley or something there. I'm not sure what it really has nothing to do, but I'm kind of curious what that L-shaped property is there for. Is it just excess land, or it doesn't look like it's owned by any of the abutting property owners?
Through the chair, yes, that L-shaped piece of property that's located to the, I guess if you were looking at the property from Huron Street, it would be to the right-hand side of the property or directly behind 1125 Michigan Avenue.
Yes.
It's a closed alley, which is held in municipal ownership. The owner of 1125 to date hasn't purchased it as of yet. We'll continue to own it at this time until such time as one of the 2 owners decide that they want to purchase it. Ideally, it does fit better with 1125. I think they generally utilize it already, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. Having heard any comments, concerns made by administration, agencies, and the public, is the committee ready to make a decision?
So moved.
Vince, seconder. Jim, all in
Yes.
favor? That carries. Thank you, Mr. Crema.
Thank you.
Okay, next application B0622, file 4137. Malcolm and Christine McDougall are the owners, and Mohammed Tabib is the agent for 2575 Bouffard Road. And the application is for consent to create 1 lot addition for future development. And Mr. Burgess is going to make a presentation on that application.
Sorry, Alan, you're on mute, I think.
Sorry about that. I do apologize. Let me go back to the beginning. The property before you tonight is 2575 Bouffard Road. The lands are currently zoned R2 and DU, deferred urban. The proposed severance before you is a lot addition where the severed lands will be attached to the lands which are identified below, and the existing home at 2585 will remain. The proposed lot addition will combine with that rear land for future development opportunities, and the retained lot, as I said, will remain in its existing state, and the lot exceeds the minimum zoning requirements. The conditions that we're recommending tonight is, again, for a 12R plan. This reference plan in particular needs to also have additional parts shown for the required drainage corridor. The Secretary Treasurer will need to be provided with an undertaking to ensure that the severed lands will be merged with the abutting property. And again, these conditions would be fulfilled by April 20th, 24. It's important when looking at this application, the vacant lands that are being maintained will be maintained as vacant lands until such time as a fulsome development proposal comes forward. So there will be additional opportunities for public input when that happens before municipal council. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Dr. Tabib, you may speak to the matter. Please introduce yourself and provide a brief explanation of your application, and please confirm that you've read and understood the staff report.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody joined. My name is Mohammed Tabib. I represent the interests of Laurier Heights, which is the company that owns the property abutting the north and the south side of Laurier, and it happened to be in close proximity to the requested land for severance. The application submitted to get the severance approved, and then lot addition to the abutting land on the south. Yes, we went over briefly the conditions requested, and I think we can meet those requirements in coordination with the town.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions of Dr. Tabib? Seeing none. Committee members, any questions of administration? No. Having heard any comments, concerns made by administration agencies and the public, is the committee ready to make a decision?
I'll move acceptance.
Seconder? Vince, all in favor? That carries. Thank you, Dr. Tabib.
Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody. Thanks, Alan.
Next meeting is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. Could I have a motion to adjourn? Val, Jim? And that carries.